Greetings, citizens! You know, every time I try to hold out hope that Cloud Imperium is going to one day realize what a scummy company they've turned into, that they maybe reform their ways and go back to their humble roots of realizing that they would be nothing if it hadn't been for the backers who put their faith, trust, and money into this company, they remind me, in spectacular fashion, just how hopeless that dream is. If you haven't heard yet, Cloud Imperium, who did not have a presence at any of the major gaming conventions this year, thus leaving backers clamoring for the in-house CitizenCon for any juicy new glimpses of Star Citizen's future, will be charging for access to the CitizenCon stream this year. Alright then. Well, let's go ahead and start pulling the peanuts out of this turd, shall we? So let's assume you aren't a longtime backer. So let's just jump to a quick flashback of Star Citizen's history with conventions. Star Citizen arguably owes its life to the exposure that it got from 2012 Austin Game Developers Conference. If you're an older backer, you probably fondly remember the look on Chris's face when he's handed that little note telling him that the website for Star Citizen has been hugged to death. From this moment onward, Star Citizen spent year after year doing conventions, the most notable being Gamescom, but most importantly, their little in-house convention, ironically named CitizenCon. Through these two major conventions, backers, and most importantly, potential backers, were always given an in-depth look at where the project's current focus was, but most importantly, the work that was being done towards the future of the project. So, to say that Star Citizen largely owes a great deal of its hype to these conventions is, well, in my opinion, an understatement. Star Citizen backers for years have taken these major demonstration videos with their polished out cinematic framing to every corner of the universe to show their friends, family, and if they were smart, people they didn't like whom they wished financial ruin upon. The free marketing and sales Cloud Imperium has gained from the hype and fervor they whip up in backers through CitizenCon and Gamescom is priceless, and yet, this year, we're seeing something a little different. Now, one of the arguments I can already hear content creators for Star Citizen screaming is, "Oh, but lots of games do this, this is fine, this isn't an issue at all." Right, but do a lot of Kickstarter games do this? Games funded entirely on the goodwill of future players of a game that's still years away from being out of deep alpha? Just to show off their in-house, "Hey guys, here's where we are with things." I don't know. Now, I'm really big on kicking CIG for their crappy sales practices over the years. And even if I'm a whale, I still think it's important to call them out when they are doing something just shitty. In every video I make, I inevitably get someone saying some really stupid crap like, "You're just mad because you can't afford it, bro." And I take a good bit of pride in those moronic comments because I do my best to look at any sales practice or change from the perspective of someone who has put in a base pledge for this game and they either can't afford to put in more or they want to hold out until they feel more comfortable giving CIG extra money. So, it's from that lens that this new decision, 40 days out from CitizenCon, to restrict online access to the show suddenly through a $20 digital ticket is absolute crap. Now sure, some might argue it's going to be their way of funding the convention, because I understand if Intel, or whoever's next, isn't interested in continuing to sponsor Star Citizen Land as it spends yet another year of, "Oops, we didn't make it with Squadron 42 again, and we haven't released any major content since 3.0, which kind of flopped." So maybe it's fair to argue that Chris is giving backers a way to pitch in and help make the convention the best it can be. Which would have been fine with the digital goodie bags, right? Another game that came from the land of early access and owes its life to the player base is Warframe. And their TennoCon offers digital ticket of sorts. But it's essentially an in-game goodie bag for those people who can't make it to the convention. You can watch the convention without the ticket. So if Cloud Imperium had gone this route, sure, I could totally ignore the 20,000 alerts I've gotten in Discord telling me how insane this whole thing is, and I'd still be off gathering Guardian blueprints in Elite Dangerous. But instead, I'm here, hoping to draw attention to what is one of the stupidest practices yet. Now, one of the reasons I think that this is such a scum move on CIG's part is that this has come after a little over a year of the slow escalation in anti-consumer practices from this company. First, we had CIG come up with war bond sales, which seemed like an innocent enough idea at the time. A way to entice backers to use fresh money instead of melting older concepts to buy new ones with RSI credit. War bond sales started out as just a small discount compared to RSI credits. And while this new sales technique wasn't totally out of line, a lot of old backers felt betrayed because CIG was devaluing their older contributions. These backers put money into the first concepts when they didn't have other options, giving CIG the much needed funding to get the game rolling. And yet, here CIG was saying, "That's nice, but we want new money." Despite the CEO of it all, Chris, coming up front and saying, "Hey guys, the game's funded. Put your wallet away. It's all taken care of. Don't worry about it. We don't need more money." Yet, their practices kind of indicated the opposite. So as the forums and subreddits shouted people down who denounced the new war bond practice, we eventually saw a new trend in concepts, which was including special incentives in war bond pledges, which CIG again masterfully used the tactic of slow escalation. At first it was just little things like forum badges, then serial numbers, then suddenly ship skins. It was also around this time that Chris and Sandy said, "Hey, we want more money. How can we further milk these people?" Oh, light bulb, I know. What if we take lifetime insurance away from people who are using store credit? And so we finally reached the point where anyone using credit to buy a new concept was robbed of the biggest reward of getting the concept during its initial sale. That precious, precious lifetime insurance, I'll remember thee fondly. And so came to pass the age where the incentive to buy concepts with new money can include new ship skins, forum badges, serial numbers, ship names, in-game extra items, and lifetime insurance. And so any peasant who wants to transfer the money they gave CIG on faith to a newer concept they would enjoy more are now promptly told to go fuck themselves. And that's just CIG's war bond fiasco. There are plenty of other things Chris had done to try to milk every last drop out of the backer tit. From the CCU tax they tried to go ahead and sneak in there, or when they discovered that not only will people spend money to test a tech demo, but you can also get them to buy a monthly subscription to test the tech demo early. Just on and on it goes. And it is because of this that I feel special attention needs to be given to this new level of bullshittery with charging money to watch CitizenCon online. It seems like a whole new level of cash grab in a game that's in development of being a game that's already loaded with cash grabs. Where does it end? And yet, one of the biggest Morty's mind blowers here is that CIG already knows their dedicated fanbase will throw money at them for just about anything. So why close off CitizenCon instead of just jacking up the price for some exclusive in-game crap that they might one day make? Star Citizen has a huge following of backers who get off on blowing money to feel special over the peasant-level backers. So if they had just done that, then CIG gets to use their cash grabby hands 2.0 and manages to avoid the backlash of trying to monetize their convention stream where they give backers an in-depth look at the state of the project that they already paid for. Since the drastic letdown of the 3.0 hype train at year's end in 2017, I feel like we've seen a whole new level of monetization coming out of Cloud Imperium, which oddly kind of coincides with a huge uptick in backers asking for refunds after being disappointed with the promised progress that was to come with Star Citizen 3.0, as well as a certain lawsuit from a certain company CIG signed a very breached contract with. And I don't care how many internet ambulance-chasing YouTube lawyers you throw at that last part, CIG did a no-no, and it's going to be a drawn-out court case for them to eventually lose and pay for. So we can attribute all the recent monetization schemes to those two issues, maybe? Or maybe is it that CIG has finally reached a point where they are so comfortable trying to fuck their backers that they just don't bother turning off the lights anymore? Now, no matter the reason for this new change, which is currently in the process of properly blowing up in somebody's face right now, I think one of the biggest things I'm curious to see is where does the community and backers of Star Citizen take this issue now? Will this be just another land sale, the war bond concepts? Or will this finally be the straw that pushes the community to wake up to the reality that Cloud Imperium are out to milk the good faith that was entrusted in them for every drop and at every turn they can? I personally have sincere doubts in this community. CIG has brilliantly fostered a very loyal and outspoken community to defend them on both the game's forum and subreddit. So, having seen the way the active backers react to CIG before, I personally expect this whole thing will be smoothed over and forgiven in a day or two, as basically every other controversial action that CIG has ever done over the years has been. I would, however, love the irony if it was a $20 digital stream ticket that finally wakes the giant and pushes the community into a lasting outrage that starts the undoubtedly long process of reining in Cloud Imperium. But I think my money is on Chris parading out the court idiot Disco Lando in some kind of costume to make idiotic jokes to take the peasant's mind off of things, while the talking sponsored content creators pretend to be upset with the community, yet also slowly pacify the situation with CIG talking points. That's just my guess. I mean, who knows what will happen, right? It isn't like we've been here before, right? Anyways, I am FailureToReport, and I'll see you around the verse. For $20 USD, non-refundable, your donation is acknowledging that you are pledging to a crowdfunding video project and not purchasing a video.